Welcome to the Paige Family Homestead. Today, we've canned milk. Why? It's good to have just in case you can't have it. And it's good to have in case, you want to be a good Samaritan and there's a mother up and around the neighborhood that can't get any. Why not present this nice gift for her children? Or a few. Stay with us. I'll show you how. So, off to the milk. Yeah, we're moving, so why am I doing this? Because we just have to move it. I gotta move empty jars anyway. I'm not hoarding, and I don't want to take from a family that might need it. So we usually do about, 2 bags a week ourselves, Andy?
Yep.
So we don't need to do 2 bags a week. So I'm gonna save one of our bags, and I'm going to can it. The reason I'm going to can it is if hydro does go out, I don't want to rely on my appliances. If the demand for milk suddenly changes, I want to be able to have something that it's not the same as your regular bag milk or jug milk. If you're from the States, I don't think you get bags. But it's so close. Like if you use skim, you're more apt to get 2%. If you use 2%, you're more apt to get, I believe the Americans call it whole milk, we call it homo. I do, though, try, I am Canadian, and I do try to give the farmers in my province and country a shot by supporting them instead of buying the milk from the States, which we have available. Nothing against it, it's just, of course, you're going to support the people that feed you. So always try to look for this little symbol when buying your milk or dairy products. So we do that. So this is going to be a canning session that is pressure canned. It's not a approved canning method. However, the only ones that are approved are the ones that the government actually set out and tested. I am a rebel canner. I do have my limits. I'm comfortable with this one. I do research. I've done it before. We've enjoyed it. We've never had it on the shelf more than a year because I try to do a rotation. I can't with all of it, but being that this is dairy, I do try to rotate every year. There's people, join that Rebel Canning Facebook page. It's awesome. Support, awesome. They're very knowledgeable. They're people who have been doing this for years and years and years and years. And I think I would trust them more than I would trust the government. Sorry, government. So, I hope I didn't... I'm going to do the method of the... as soon as it hits pressure, take it off. Apparently, I haven't done this. I'm thinking about doing a couple test jars for my friend Kim, because they enjoy cream in their coffee. Cream's expensive. Times are rough right now. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a 2% or a homo, perhaps. And I saw a lady online doing it for 15 minutes. And what she ended up with was more like a condensed milk version, which we wouldn't appreciate, but I know Kim and Matt would for their coffee, right? It's a lot cheaper. So I haven't done it, but I'm thinking about doing a test run, but not today. Today I'm taking care of us. So this is about the easiest pressure canning video I could ever imagine somebody starting with. My jars have been sterilized in the oven, and I've allowed them to be cool. I'm using cool, not cold, not warm. It's been out sitting for, 40 minutes. The jars are room temperature. The water I've already got in my canner, and the water you would use in your canner, you go by what your manufacturer suggests for your particular canner, okay? So I'm not going to advise on that. I'm going to give about an inch headspace. Now, whenever I pressure can, I always, never forget to wipe the rim of the jar with a little bit of vinegar with a paper towel or a clean rag. Because this is milk, even if I've squeezed it out, I don't want to introduce vinegar to my milk. So I'm going to do it with water, and you can see it goes in relatively easy and clean. Spank it and nip it. That one got sloppy because I just bragged about it. See that one too? Now, a lot of people will do these in quarts, and it's the same cook time. I prefer not to do it in quarts, only because it's just Andy and I. If there were 3 of us here in the house, I probably would. And it takes less shelf room too, right? But it's just, like I said, it's just Andy and I. These will last a long time. And I don't know if I finished talking about it, because I talk a lot. But I admit my faults. All the other ones people claim I have aren't true if I don't admit them. But I've been told that this can be, if it's stored in the proper conditions in a cool, not cold, cool, dark place, it can last up to 2 years without losing nutritional value. Like I said, you make your own rules. It's your kitchen. It's your family. It's, you know, I mean, if they can can milk in the store, for the store rather, we can can it at home. And grandmas everywhere have been proving that for years. I just feel safer cutting it at 1. And that's, like I said, my personal preference. I'm not telling you that's what you should do. Now, I found this really kind of weird in my travels, looking for information and seeing, you know, what new things I can do for myself and Andy as well. I came across somebody who was doing chocolate milk. And I thought, yeah, that would work. I just don't personally see a use for it myself. I'm going to be doing a chocolate syrup. I have a subscriber turning into a friend here who contacts me regularly, and she put a request in for chocolate syrup. So I'm going to do that later today for a different upload. There's lots of videos out there, but some of my people may not have seen or found them. Or trust the methods, you know. You develop a rapport. But myself, I can't see canning chocolate milk. Maybe if I had young children at home. Okay, so that one's not getting done. I'm out of my milk. And like I said, I only wanted to do 1 4-liter bag. This will be used probably as soon as we shut off the camera. So I'm not even worried about that. So now, they say to debubble. Yeah.
What the heck? How do you debubble that? It's liquid.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
It's debubbled as liquid. Wiping. I did get a few of them topped up here. Just want to make sure there's no milk fats or liquids, whatever. You don't want it to mess with your seal, right? Now, because we're pressure canning, I am not, and it's cold milk, cold jars, cold water in the canner. It's going to take a little while to you know, come up. But I'm also not using my jars, lids rather. I'm not putting them in hot water. I got them sitting in warm water just to loosen the rubbers, but when you're pressure canning, you really don't need to. I'm just like old and don't want to change my ways. Again, we're going to do, well, I'll finish these. I've got my rings on a bungee cord that my husband left laying around, so I claimed. No, he bought them for me. It was a brilliant idea. Okay, so we're going to do, yes, I've dropped these and spewed them all over the floor many a day. Finger tight. And yes, I reuse my rings. When they get really disgusting and rusty, well, if they can't be used for maybe a cookie cutter, or just recycle it.
Frisbee.
No, thank you.
Throw it around the room.
Children everywhere are going to do that, and the mama canners are going to be cursing you, Andrew.
Yep.
His name is Andrew James Paige. You can look him up in the directory. Send your hate mail.
Don't listen to this woman.
That one I didn't finger tight. I'll catch them before they go in.
Yep.
Now, we live in town, and I don't know if they say we have hard water, but I say we do.
We do.
Yeah, and it's horrendous on the hair, by the way. But I actually put a 1/4 cup of white vinegar into my canner with the water. Just
It hit the floor.
first victim. Just to, I don't like the shape of that one. Just to make sure that the jars come out nice and crystal clear. I mean, if they don't, if you haven't done that and you're noticing your jars are milky, you can wipe them down with vinegar. And it does take it away, but I don't want that extra step. So here we go, beautiful milk going into the bottom of the canner, which is, by the way, on one of those little bottom trivets. You don't want to put your jars directly on the bottom of your canner. This is going to be nice to have again. Like, we were out, and I thought, I felt guilty. I don't want to buy 3-4 bags when the times are the way they are, right? I don't want to take from somebody that might need it and has children. So I'm limiting to my normal amount. I'm just limiting us so that we can have some for later. I can't stand it when people go in and try and buy out everything, and there's other people that need it too.
Well, they're not thinking of others. That's the whole problem.
No. So if I do this every week for the next 3 weeks, I'll be content to stay where I am, right? I probably won't. I'll probably just do one more bag, and I'll be happy. And if I see things change, I might change my mind. Okay, I've already oiled everything in here lightly, and out here we're going to match up our dots. Give it a good in. These are lug nuts. You didn't know I knew that, did you?
No, I didn't think you did.
I read the directions. I'm tightening them, but I'm not like crunching them tight. You don't need to. But I'm trying to do even on each opposite side, like you would a tire. So, because it's cold, cold, and cold, it's going to take some time. I've seen people whip theirs up to maximum. Please don't. Said I wasn't going to tell you what to do. Please don't. Part of the canning process is to bring your pressure up at an even heat, so you're not shocking what's inside there, and you're not going to get the puking out of your jars, okay? Everybody knows it's important to bring it down to pressure slowly. It's just as important to bring it up, okay? So I'm going to play mine on number 7. I'm looking for a steady stream of steam. When I get it, I'll bring you back. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. It's really hard to see. I can certainly feel it. It's a nice big stream of steam. So I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. And I'm going to let that go for the 10 minutes. It's getting rid of all the air out of there and making it pressurized. That's the vital part of this canning process. Some people like to skip it. Don't skip it. You want success? Follow your steps. That wasn't Corona, no. By the way. Okay, so we're just going to let this go for 10 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've got 23 seconds, 22, 21. Sorry about the machine in the back, the KitchenAid. I'm making, it's bread day. Because we're looking for a house, I don't want to be doing the bread every other day, so I'm making 2 batches, freezing, because it thaws so well. Check our baking playlist and for the white sandwich bread. It's Andrew's Daily Bread. There we go. Timer's off. I live at 1,000 under feet, so sea level. So I'm using 10-pound pressure. Check your sea level and see what your weight is. It might be 5 pounds, it might be 15. Mine is 10 pounds. So, now what we're going to do, we're going to wait until this comes to exactly 10-pound pressure. This is going to do a little tss, and when it does, I'll bring you back, but I'm going to shut it off, the heat, and I'm going to get Andy. So Andy will be coming back. I'm going to get Andy to move it to the back here where it's cooler, and I'm going to let it come down completely. Okay? See you then.
We put it there now?
Okay, so we've got it up to pressure. So I'm going to ask Andy to turn the heat off. I can't do this. It's too heavy when it's double loaded.
Minutized.
Yeah. And then if you could put it on the back burner carefully, keep it level.
Yep.
Shouldn't do this. But for milk, we're gonna. So now, thanks, sweetheart. Now we let this come down totally on its own. No rush. Just leave it alone. Like right now, I'm finishing up my bread. I've also got to do some more elderberry syrup. See, it's starting to come down already. And you can find my elderberry syrup in the playlist under the Instapot. And I've got to do some dog food. So it's a busy day, and I got my chocolate syrup video coming for Susan Shepherd. Okay, I'll bring you back when we're at 0, and then I will let it cool maybe 5-10 minutes, and then remove my weight and open and let it sit ajar for a little while. See you soon. Andy, if you wouldn't mind coming in. So we're at 0 pressure. It's not hot. It's hot,
right.
But listen, probably should have let it sit 10 more minutes. Now, I'm a horrible person for putting things in a good place, so I keep my weight in here with the other canner weights. Never put it anywhere else. So, same way we locked it, we're going to release it, opposite sides. This one's going to be hard. There we go. Okay, so just gonna let that sit for 5 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, I let this sit, I thought for 10, but it ended up 15. So, just taking it. Oh, they look beautiful.
They're still bubbling inside the jar.
Oh, they will. So never put your jars on a cold counter. Okay? Never, ever. Peggy, come on. So we're going to lift them. Oh, they're popping.
Popping already.
Look at.
How beautiful.
Oh. Made with love for later. And we will enjoy them. Now they are made with 2%. Always leave about 1 inch between your jars. You want them to have some air to cool. And do not touch them for at least 24 hours. I'm not going to lie and say I don't cheat if the jars look primed and everything. I have put them in the pantry in less time than that, but don't do that. You really shouldn't. Just let them rest. I will then remove the rings, make sure they're all sealed, and then I can put them on the shelf for up to a year, 2 years. Year for us. We don't like to go beyond that for dairy.
I like that. Do as I do, but not as I say. No, it's the opposite way around of me. Do as I say, not as I do.
I have a really busy day today. Listen to them go.
Mm-hmm.
They all look good. The water looks clear.
Yep.
That's important. Now, if I did have one that siphoned a little bit, it's easy to find who it is. By siphoning, I mean came out a little. That's usually the fault of the person operating the canner.
That'd be her.
Yep, that'd be me. And what I would do with those is put them directly into the fridge, even though they probably are still sealed. It's dairy. It's compromised in my eyes. So I put that in the fridge, and that's the one we use right away. It's not a biggie. So next week, I'll get another bag out of our 2 that we normally would buy. See, I had one, I think, siphoned, so I'm going to put a piece of tape on that one so I don't get them mixed up. And that one will be put into the fridge. And yeah, I don't see any leaking in the water. Probably just started to siphon. Yeah. It's okay. Now the water that's on top of these jars, It's going to evaporate. It's going to leave. Don't worry about it. So we're just going to leave these here for 24 hours. If you wanted true carnation type milk, you would have, at the point where it came to pressure and it started to jiggle, you would have set your timer at that point for 13 or 15. Somebody said 15 was better. I would go 13 just to test it out first. Let it process at 10-pound pressure for 13 minutes. And then again, do the rest of the process the way we did. That will give you more of a canned milk. And if you do use that carnation canned milk, it's expensive. This works out good economics. Make it yourself. Okay? If you do the other version, if you do if you do the version, let me know in the comments if you have. I'm curious. Because like I said, I think Kim and Matt would really enjoy it because they put that cream in their coffee. All right, so thanks. Don't forget to thumbs up. That's the like. And comment below in the comments. We really enjoy it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Share with your friends. Especially like the canning of the milk. Oh, I don't like that one on the edge of the, you know. And also we do have a really friendly Facebook page happening. Yeah, like I'd invite you to one that wasn't. It's typed as Paige Family, one word, space Homestead. Come join us. Thanks again. Bye-bye.